You drive up to a payment kiosk, decline the $20 single wash, and tap the screen to pay $30 a month for the unlimited membership instead. You think you just gamed the math, but that automated kiosk did not give you a deal. It just locked your bank account into a recurring financial float where not showing up is the most profitable thing you can do. Every commuter who has ever sat at a red light in a commercial suburb has asked the same question. Why are there so many of these things? You drive down a 4-lane highway, and on the corner where an old family diner or a bank branch used to stand, there is now an enormous, neon-lit concrete tunnel with 60 covered vacuum stalls out front. 2 miles down the road, there is another one. A mile after that, a third. The ordinary consumer looks at that landscape and assumes America must be suffering from an epidemic of filthy windshields. You figure that entrepreneurs looked at supply and demand, noticed that people needed their cars washed, and built a facility to meet the need. That is not what happened. If you look at the economics of traditional retail, building an express car wash on 2 acres of prime commercial real estate sounds like financial suicide. A piece of land on a high-traffic retail corner can cost anywhere from $2 to $4 million just to purchase. Paving it, laying down heavy industrial drainage, and installing a 300-foot German-engineered conveyor belt with automated brushes and high-pressure blowers costs another $2 to $3 million. You are staring at a $5 to $7 million capital investment before the first drop of water hits a hood. And the visible product you are selling to pay back that $7 million mortgage is an 8-minute ride through colored foam that costs $10. Before we pull that math apart and show you who is actually paying for those tunnels, drop a comment below. How many express car washes have opened within a 10-minute drive of your house over the last few years? Tell me the count in the replies. And while you are down there, hitting the like and subscribe button would mean so much to me. Right, the tunnel. That 100-yard concrete tube is where the first layer of the disguise operates, and it starts with the cost of a clean car. In a normal service business, every customer you serve costs you real money. If you run a restaurant, every steak you serve costs you beef, gas, and a chef's time. If you run an oil change shop, every car that pulls into the bay costs you 5 quarts of synthetic oil and a filter. Your marginal cost per customer is high. An express car wash operates on a marginal cost structure that looks almost identical to a software company. Once the tunnel is turned on, the electricity to run the conveyor, the municipal water, the biodegradable detergent, and the chemical liquid wax required to wash one additional vehicle costs the operator between 40 and 80 cents. Read that again. A $20 ultimate shine package that sprays purple foam, applies a ceramic sealant, and blasts warm air over your roof costs the house roughly 60 cents in raw consumables. The gross margin on the soap and water is 97%. And notice who is doing the work. 30 years ago, a car wash was a labor-intensive operation. You drove your sedan onto a track, stepped out, and watched a team of 6 to 8 workers hand-dry the mirrors, vacuum the floor mats, and wipe down the dashboard. Labor was 30 to 40% of the entire operating budget. The modern express model gutted that expense line completely. They took the vacuuming, removed it from the employee's job description, placed 60 suction hoses in the parking lot, and told you it was a free amenity. You clean your own floor mats for free. The drying is handled by 50 horsepower overhead turbine fans. The entire $5 million facility is staffed by 2 teenagers in branded polo shirts whose only job is to wave you toward the left wheel track and empty the trash cans. Labor drops from 40% of revenue down to under 15%. High gross margins, cheap hands, that is a great business. But it is still a business that depends on whether the sun is shining on a Saturday morning. And that is where the second layer of the machine takes over, the kiosk. When you pull up to the automated entry gate of a modern wash, notice how the screen is designed. The single wash options, the $10 basic, the $15 plus, the $20 premium, are pushed to the bottom of the interface in small text. Dominated across the center of the screen in bright animated buttons is the unlimited monthly membership. For $29 a month, you can wash your car every single day. Why would an operator who just spent $7 million building a facility let you wash a $50,000 truck 30 times a month for the price of 2 single tickets? Because the operator knows something about human behavior that you refuse to admit to yourself. You are not going to wash your car 30 times a month. You are barely going to wash it twice. This is the subscription annuity model, and it solved the oldest, most terrifying problem in the car wash industry, the weather. Historically, if it rained for 3 weekends in a row in October, an independent car wash operator went broke. Customers stayed home, the tunnel sat empty, but the bank still demanded the mortgage payment on the first of the month. When you convert a customer from a $20 single ticket to a $30 monthly auto-renewing credit card charge, you decouple the revenue of the building from the weather outside. Whether it rains for 2 weeks straight Whether it snows or whether you go on vacation for a month, that $30 charge hits your Visa card on the 14th of every month like clockwork. In the industry, they call this the membership float, and it runs on the exact same psychological engine as a commercial gym: breakage. Breakage is the percentage of paying subscribers who simply fail to show up. Industry data shows that the average unlimited club member visits a wash between 1.3 and 1.5 times per month. They are paying $30 for roughly 90 cents worth of soap and water once or twice a month. And because the subscription is automatically tied to a barcode sticker on your windshield or a license plate scanner at the gate, canceling requires friction. You cannot usually cancel with one click on an app. Many chains require you to visit the kiosk in person or submit a digital request that takes 72 hours to process. The friction is intentional. Every month you delay canceling because you think, "I'll probably go this Saturday," and is $30 of pure, unencumbered margin for the house. In a mature express car wash, 60 to 80% of total monthly revenue comes from recurring subscriptions before the first car of the day even rolls onto the conveyor. The business is no longer a cleaning service. It is a recurring billing financial annuity that uses clean windshields as a customer acquisition funnel. But even a high-margin subscription machine does not explain why Wall Street private equity funds and billionaires suddenly started pouring billions of dollars into suburban car washes around 2018. Why not buy laundromats or storage units instead? Which brings us to the third layer of the disguise, and it is the piece that never appears on the menu board: tax accounting. In the United States tax code, there is a provision that deals with how businesses write off the cost of the things they build, and it is called depreciation. Normally, if you buy a commercial building, the IRS makes you write off that cost slowly over 39 years. A tiny slice of tax deduction every year for 4 decades. But express car washes sit inside a very special, very quiet corner of tax law, because a car wash building is structurally designed around its equipment: the underground water recycling tanks, the concrete conveyor trenches, the specialized electrical plumbing. Tax accountants can use a strategy called cost segregation. They can classify up to 80% of the entire construction cost not as a building, but as equipment and land improvements. And under Section 179 and bonus depreciation rules, which were dramatically expanded by federal tax legislation, equipment can be depreciated immediately, in year 1. Let us translate what that means in plain English, because it is the secret engine of the entire boom. Imagine a wealthy real estate developer or a private equity fund makes $10 million in taxable profit from other investments, selling an apartment complex, liquidating stocks, or running a chain of dental clinics. Normally, they would owe the federal government millions of dollars in taxes on that profit. Instead, they spend $6 million building a brand new express car wash. Because of bonus depreciation on specialized car wash equipment, their accountant can write off $4 to $5 million of that construction cost as an immediate tax loss in the very first year. That loss on paper is applied against their real $10 million of income from their other businesses. Their taxable income drops in half. They save millions of dollars in actual cash tax payments that year. And in exchange, they own a brand new, cash-flowing commercial real estate asset that is generating $30 monthly subscriptions from every commuter in the neighborhood. The car wash does not even need to be wildly profitable in its first 2 years. Its primary job in year 1 was to act as a tax eraser for money the investor made somewhere else. That is why you see them built on expensive land. That is why you see them open across the street from existing competitors. The investor wasn't just chasing the local demand for clean cars. They were chasing a federal tax shelter that happens to wash cars on the side. Now stack the fourth and final layer on top of all of this: the private equity roll-up. If you have noticed that the names on your local car washes keep changing, from Bob's Speedy Wash to a glossy national brand with a corporate logo, you are watching a financial roll-up in real time. Private equity firms raise billions of dollars from pension funds and institutional investors with one goal: buy small, fragmented local businesses, bundle them together into a massive corporate chain, and sell the whole bundle to a larger investor, or take it public on the stock market at a higher valuation. In finance, businesses are valued as a multiple of their cash flow, specifically EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. An independent guy who owns 2 car washes in Ohio might be able to sell his business for 5 or 6 times his annual earnings. But a massive corporate chain that owns 500 car washes across 20 states, all running on predictable, weatherproof monthly credit card subscriptions, can be valued at 12, 14, or 16 times its earnings. So Wall Street firms spend years playing a game of valuation arbitrage. They sweep into a suburb, buy Bob's Speedy Wash for 6 times earnings, slap a national brand sign on the roof, install the unlimited subscription kiosk, and instantly value that exact same concrete tunnel at 12 times earnings inside their portfolio. They are buying earnings at $6 a pound and repackaging them to sell to Wall Street at $12 a pound. The physical tunnel is just the raw material for a financial engineering trade. Which brings us to the uncomfortable edge of this entire arrangement. What happens to the town where this machine lands? Look at the real estate that these tunnels occupy. An express car wash requires a high-visibility corner lot with easy right-turn access from a major commuting corridor. That is the exact same footprint required by affordable housing, local retail, community banks, or grocery stores. When a private equity fund with billions in capital and a tax shelter mandate competes for that corner lot, they can outbid almost any traditional local business. They turn prime community square footage into an automated concrete slab where 60 vacuums hum in an empty parking lot, employing 2 high schoolers at $12 an hour. It is a land bank. The investor owns an appreciating commercial parcel in the middle of a growing suburb, pays the property taxes using the monthly membership float, and waits for the land value to double over 10 years. The tunnel is just a tenant that never complains and pays its own rent. So, where is the floor? What breaks a financial model that is backed by Wall Street, sheltered by the IRS, and funded by millions of people who forget to cancel their $30 memberships? The ceiling is already arriving, and it is called debt saturation. You cannot build 4 express car washes on the same 2-mile stretch of highway forever. While the marginal cost of soap and water is almost zero, the debt service cost on a $7 million loan is very real. When interest rates were sitting near zero, borrowing $5 million to build a tax shelter was an easy decision. When commercial borrowing rates climbed, the monthly mortgage payment on that concrete tunnel jumped by tens of thousands of dollars a month. At the exact same time, consumer subscription fatigue hit. An American household that is already paying for Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, and iCloud storage eventually looks at their credit card statement and asks a dangerous question. Why am I paying $40 a month to a car wash I haven't visited since Tuesday? When 3 car washes on the same street are competing for the same finite pool of suburban commuters, they cannot compete on quality. All 3 use the exact same automated conveyor belts and the exact same chemical foam. So they compete on subscription pricing. They discount the first month to $9. They offer free trials. And the moment the subscription renewal rate drops, the private equity valuation model starts to crack. The operators who own the land outright and built their washes 10 years ago will survive. But the leveraged funds that bought suburban corners at peak real estate prices, expecting unlimited subscription growth to pay off 16% commercial interest rates, are discovering that a car wash is only a tax shelter until the loan comes due. An express car wash was never a temple of cleanliness. It was an asset-backed financial instrument. A bet that if you pour concrete on a high-traffic corner and put a bright digital touchscreen at the driveway, human beings will happily sign up for an indefinite monthly charge to avoid the minor inconvenience of a dirty hood. The chemists make the soap. The IRS writes the tax code. The Wall Street funds trade the leases. The only thing the car wash has ever truly needed from you is your credit card number and your short memory. So the next time you drive past a gleaming, brand new express tunnel with 50 empty vacuum stalls and a sign offering unlimited washes for $29 a month, you will know what is really happening. You are not looking at a cleaning business. You are looking at a private equity land bank and a federal tax deduction, waiting for a commuter to pull up and pay the mortgage. And almost every single time, the house eats well. If you enjoyed pulling the car wash business apart like this, hitting like and subscribing genuinely helps launch this channel more than you would think. This is what we do here. Taking the everyday retail businesses you drive past every day and exposing the financial machinery hiding underneath. Make sure you're subscribed for the next breakdown. See you in the next one.